bad idea. We're waking up at 3:30. We're waking up at 3:30. We're gonna wake up at 3:30. I'm gonna try to wake up at 3:30. Oh, yeah. Hey besties, come with me on a road trip to go see my siblings. Obviously, we had to stop at Bucky's first to get coffee and breakfast. So we loaded up here. But then before we knew it, we were on our way. Yeah, so this actually happened in June. I went to go see my sister, her wife, and my brother. I hadn't seen them in like a few years, and they live in another state, and we finally, like, our schedules all aligned, and we were able to go visit. And so my husband and I made the 9.5 hour drive to Hot Springs, Arkansas, where my sister and her wife live. And then my brother lives in Fayetteville. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to share what that looked like. We made some interesting stops along the way and saw some really cool stuff, including this gas station art. Like, wow, we love gas station art, especially in this next clip. So this was in the women's restroom. We've got this amazing picture here, these beautifully painted stalls, cowgirl, and then the picture again at Jesus and a mirror. We love it. Also, they had a drink, or they had my bestie's name. Shout out to my bestie Angel. And then they also had Fago, which is just wild to me. If you know, you know. Juggalo, whoop whoop. That sounded terrible. They also ended up having, like, Squirt in a bottle, which was, like, really good, by the way. I didn't realize how much I liked that drink. They had all kinds of weird snacks, too. Like, I don't know if I show it in this clip. Yeah, you're gonna see the TGIF snacks. Like, I didn't know they still made those. Like, we don't have TGIFs in San Antonio anymore. I don't know if they still exist in other states, but at least in San Antonio, they don't. Um, so yeah, just like really interesting to see. And then in this slow down clip, you can see the Labubu cup, a mannequin head, and then here you could see like what are probably Lafufus. So really interesting. And then they also had just like all this like random stuff. This gas station was wild, y'all. Like, that's my favorite Jesus. Look at him. He's just like, hey. Um I don't know. Yeah, just weird stuff at this guy. Like, look, it just keeps going. um, but yeah, like I said, we made some interesting stops before we got to my sister's place. We still had a ways to go after this. We ended up stopping in Texarkana, and for those of you who don't know, it's the border of Texas and Arkansas. One side of the street is literally Texas, and the other is Arkansas. But we ended up stopping for lunch at this place that had giant baked potatoes. Definitely go check them out. Oh my gosh. And y'all, I am not a cheese girl, okay? I am very weird about cheese in general. It's just a thing, okay? But they put a lot of cheese on this potato, and I'll show y'all. Y'all, I didn't even care. It was so freaking good. 10 out of 10, 100 million out of 10 would recommend this place. Go if you're ever in Texarkana. And then before we knew it, we were back on the road. And not this clip. In the next one, I'm gonna shut up because this was at my sister's house, and this is basically what I experienced like the whole weekend. It was heaven, y'all. Also, she had a pool, so I was in there like 90% of the time. Anyway, here we are getting hot free water from downtown, and then this is where my sister actually works, guys. I don't know if you know, but my sister's like super duper smart, and they put her in charge of this whole place, as they should, because she knows everything. No, but really, she's like a big history buff, and like she was giving us like a whole tour of the downtown. It was super knowledgeable and factual and all that. But my stupid iPhone kept overheating, so I didn't get to like record all of it. Boo boo, but still. It was a beautiful town, beautiful buildings. I super loved it and super recommend coming here if you ever have the chance. And then in this next clip, we actually have some of the hot spring. Like, look at that, guys. The water is like 140 degrees Fahrenheit. And it comes from like underground, super duper deep. Like, yeah, that's all I can remember. But I just thought it was really cool. Like, look at that. Oh, I wanted to dip my whole body in, but my sister wouldn't let me. I guess she cares about me or whatever. Anyway, here's another really cool building. And then we ended up going to one of our friends' restaurants, pictured here. They have root beer, homemade root beer. Oh my god, so good. It's hard to nail a real homemade root beer, in my opinion. Whatever. Here we are at a fancy water store. You may have seen this water in stores before, but this is where they make it, I guess. And then I saw this really cool rock face. I just thought it looked super dope because you could see like all the different layers. And another really cool old building. So many cool buildings down here. And then we ended up going to this like watchtower. I can't think of the word for it. Anyway, we went to the top. It was super scary. Um, Here's the rickety old elevator that had a weight limit, and somebody tried to get on with us, and I was freaking out the whole time because that made us over the weight limit. But who cares about reading signs? Am I right? Am I right? When you got a beautiful sight like this, who cares? I wasn't nervous at all, especially when we got to the tippity top. Oh my god, but this view. I was a little nervous, guys, but overall, I was just in awe of this site. Like, look at that. Look at the clowns. Look at all the trees. Oh, it was amazing. Um, 10 out of 10 would recommend. You could go even higher and outside, but for some reason I didn't get any footage of that. Um, but yeah, that ended up being it for our little tour of downtown Hot Springs, Arkansas. Definitely recommend. And then we stopped at a Kroger's, which we don't have in Texas, or I think in North it might still exist, but not where I'm at. Anyway, had to check out the Squishmallows. If you know, you know. Wherever you go, you always gotta check the Squishmallows situation. Anyway, here we are off on a little adventure. So, fun fact about me, Randy and I really like rocks and crystals, and there happened to be a little crystal mine not too far from where my sister lived. So we decided to go on a little adventure because she had to work that day. But it was called Ron Coleman Mine. They had quartz crystal. Yeah, I don't know why that sounded weird. That's the right thing. Anyway, here we are. Look at all the pretty rocks. Wow, and they had a ton inside for sale too. But yeah, you just pay, I think it was like $20 or $30 a head, and you can take as much as you want as you can carry. I literally found this in the parking lot, guys. Like, there were crystals everywhere. Like, oh, I need to show. Like, we even found a big ass one. I'll show it here. Boom. It's literally whatever you can carry, you can take. So, like, bet. We actually wish we had stayed a little bit longer, but like it got hot quick. Like we got here right when they opened. Look at me just gathering car crystals or parking lot crystals. Whatever. They were cute. And then look at this big guy. Like look at that. There's just like crystal in the rock. And then here we are walking up the hill trying to find a little place to like settle down. Um like this isn't even the top. Like there was a whole plateau of whatever, a lot of places to dig, but we ended up just picking a little spot, and like literally you would dig up a little bit of dirt and find something. Like look, beautiful. Oh, my angles are horrible. Also, I didn't get a lot of footage again because my phone kept overheating and I was just trying to keep it cool. I still need to replace my iPhone, as a matter of fact. I refuse to get the 17. I refuse. That I've heard so many horrible things about it. Anyway, look at this big guy. Like, look at that. Just crystals. And then we'll show later, like, all the ones we got here in a second. It was just so much fun, though, you guys. Highly would recommend. There's my hole. This is where I dug out of. And then look, there's all these people. The people with the tents had the right idea. And then this family right here, they had a bunch of kids that were coming in and out. It was kind of funny, actually. But here's the after. Look at us. Filthy. filthy. It was worth it though. And then, yeah, these are all the rocks we got, including the huge one. We tried to clean it up. Didn't really work out. That clay was heavy. That's clay you can see there, and it was hard to clean off. We still haven't cleaned all the crystals, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, that was our little adventure, and then these next couple clips, I'm just gonna let you enjoy the sounds. It was actual heaven. Thanks again, Lauren Hazel, for letting us come visit y'all. Love you guys. But yeah, that was basically our trip. And then we made one stop on the way home at a Love's. Y'all, I can't believe I found this Squishmallow because it had already been out for a while, and the fact that I found it was, I'm not gonna lie, probably one of the best parts of the trip. Not seeing my brother and sister. No. Finding this Squishmallow. No, it was an amazing trip. I'm so glad I got to see my family. And I can't wait to go back again. We're definitely going to have to do it soon. Or they'll have to come visit me. Either way, it was fun. But I was excited to get home to my babies. But that was it for the trip. Here we are making our way through the state line. I'm running out of words. I hope you enjoyed this video though. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. You can hit the like button if you'd like, or maybe subscribe. You don't have to, but it'd be a lot cooler if you did. That's it. Okay, love you, bye!